We're going to give you some updates on ongoing FOIA litigation. Let's see. First one, Chicago Police Department. So now there's a post on our website now that will give you it's basically a running blog, and it'll give you updates on the litigation. Now, why is that important? Well, for one thing, the Chicago Police Department we are entering the third birthday of our lawsuit. Third. They don't want to give up their data, period. They're fighting like cats and dogs to stop us from getting their data. They're just refusing. It's the most ridiculous lawsuit in the world. It is wasting taxpayer money like you can't believe. Our lawyers are pro bono. Thank the Lord for, in this case, it's Lovey and Lovey. Merrick Wayne, Matt Topic, kicking butt over there at Lovey for us. You know, we're winning. We're racking up victories in this, and the CPD is still fighting it like crazy. And you'll see it that the first real blog entry is a recent victory in court, which is we served the CPD our first discovery request. So it's a set of interrogatories and some discovery requests mixed in, and it's going to be really interesting to see what they produce as part of that. What I think you're going to get is them kicking and screaming the whole way and delaying as long as possible, because 3 years hasn't been long enough. We have them looking for an analysis. Part of what's still open is that analysis they told the city council they did related to the 1,000-man hire that Rahman announced September 22nd, I think, of 2016. Remember that? Well, they went and told the city council and the Sun-Times, we did a top-to-bottom analysis. We know exactly how many officers they need. They've already whiffed 3 times at providing that to us. I'm sorry. They whiffed twice, and then they tried to get to court to not force them to look anymore, and they lost that. And so they're still looking for that, which is mind-boggling. And they're also looking, we have a police call, we have a call for service issue out that's still going. So calls for service are 911 calls. The police department, the CPD, grabs those calls, the metadata on those calls from the Office of Emergency Management and Communications every year, and stores it in their warehouses, because OEMC deletes that data 4 years to the day every day. Unbelievable. So the CPD has it in their data warehouses. We wanted data back to from 1999 to 2016. I think it may have been 17. And in their unbelievable ways, for the first 9 years or so of our request, they did provide us data. 13% of what they say in their annual reports during those years from 1999 to 2007 or 8. 13% of the calls that are in the annual reports, if you add them up. 13%. They can't tell us why. They have no idea. And then in the other 9 years, I think it is, they provided us on average 145% of the calls. 1 year, 198% of the calls. How do you get 198% of something? How do you average 145% of something? Only in Chicago, only in FOIAs could you get that. It's so ridiculous. So that's one of our lawsuits. The second lawsuit that's ongoing here is the Cook County State's Attorney's Office. We filed, this is our second lawsuit against Kim Fox. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's our second lawsuit against the office. We sued Anita Alvarez. I think it was in 2015. Kim settled in early to mid 2017. I think we came to an agreement in March or April or something like that. And then in the summers when they actually provided the data, they withheld it to just about the time that they published their own dashboard. I'm sure that wasn't on purpose. But we have a lawsuit. They broke that settlement agreement that they settled with us. Unbelievable. I know it is. They forced us. We filed new FOIAs and we still had the old FOIAs because they didn't give us the data in the right format. And they just refused to honor the old agreement. They refused to honor any new FOIAs. It's a clown show over there for sure. For an office that is responsible for prosecuting people for life and death crimes, they are so unbelievably incompetent on some things. And FOIA is definitely one. It's laughable. So in that update, that we're going to have a running update of that litigation. And the first post in that one is that we won basically a discovery issue. The state's attorney's office moved to dismiss. They were going to try to dismiss the whole case. They couldn't. They were only allowed to file a motion to dismiss on the old issues around the settlement agreement. They did that. They were able to file that motion. I think it's going to be heard in May. But the judge didn't allow them to file a motion to dismiss on the current and most active ones that aren't part of the first litigation. And she also authorized the serving of discovery requests on the state's attorneys. So we sent in several pages of discovery requests and interrogatories. So we will be getting, well, I shouldn't say that. We should be getting, under the law, answers to those. And one of the big sticking points is they're telling us, believe it or not, that it's too difficult to export data from their database, and that their database, only a Microsoft database that I think they spent around $3 million on back in 2005, it only exports in one single format. One. And that's Microsoft SQL Server, a proprietary format that is incredibly hard to open up if you're using open source technologies. We don't believe that's true, and I'm sure our discovery is going to prove that that's untrue. We'll see if that makes a difference and whether these things get settled quickly. But both those blogs are going to be running, and we will be coming back to you on the show and letting you know when they're updated.